Um, so today we have Gerda du Plessis, a PhD student here at the IMBM. She's just returned from a 3-month voyage down to Antarctica and is today going to give us a quick interview on her time there. Okay, so how about we start with telling us a bit about yourself?
Well, I was born in Port Elizabeth and raised in Cape Town. I've lived most of my life in the Western Cape and enjoyed the nice environment here in Cape Town. I also completed my first 3 degrees up until my master's in the Western Cape. I am mostly interested in the field of marine biotechnology, but my major at the moment is oceanography. So I'm combining both physical oceanography and marine biotechnology in the PhD. It's a new field. It's not common. It's not something you go out and say I want to do a PhD in this field. In South Africa, physical oceanography is more physics and the analysis of fronts and features within the ocean. And marine biotechnology is something complete on the other side of biology, where you study small marine microorganisms and their genetic potential. But my interest has always been marine-based, and the marine biotech industry is only starting up, and there isn't really a specific lab up until recently that has been solely devoted to marine biotech in the Western Cape. So that's the reason why I went into that.
So you just spent 3 months on a ship. You were in fact the chief scientific officer on this ship. Sorry. How about you tell us about the experience of being trapped with 130 people for 3 months in the cold?
Well, in all respects, it wasn't trapped for a full 3 months. What normally happens is we go down, we actually offload about 80 scientists at Antarctica to go to the Sinai base, and only a few stay behind. In this case, about 26 of us were ship-based scientists. Given ship is very close quarters and you get to know people extremely well. So it takes a certain sort of personality to be comfortable in such an environment.
Were you very comfortable in this environment?
Me, yes. I like the ship very much. I am easy in the fact that I don't have that yearning to go onto land like most people do. So I find the ship a sort of a home away from home. The worst thing about being on the ship, just as a passenger, is probably the small quarters for everybody, and the fact that some of the people need to share it either in 2 cabins or 4 cabins. But for most parts of the voyage, when we're only 26 on board, we each get allocated our own room, which is kind of nice.
And what's the best thing about being on a ship down to Antarctica?
Going to Antarctica and the South Sandwich Islands and South Georgia. There's nothing like it. South Georgia is amazing. I think nobody really knows until they get there, but 24-hour sunlight is something you don't take lightly, so it is an intense environment. It can be both extremely beautiful and extremely harsh at the same time, we had a taste of both in this voyage, and I think people don't really grasp how quickly the weather can change from a perfect blue day to a complete whiteout. And it's a unique experience. It's not something you can explain to anybody. Well, there's always troubles with equipment on a ship. Everybody that goes down knows. That's why you have awesome engineers on the ship. Research was mostly based within the first 2 weeks and the last 2 weeks. when we were underway between Cape Town and Antarctica. My interest is in your smaller pico-eukaryotes and bacterial communities in the surface waters, specifically located in the frontals regions and the zones in between that make up the Antarctic circumpolar current, and how unique they are. And I'm interested in exactly what's there, the biodiversity, as well as their genetic potential for a biotech perspective.
So there's real-world applications to your work. You're not just going gallivanting around the Southern Ocean.
No, it's real-world applications, and it's hard work. Mostly for those 2 weeks, you do not really sleep at all.
Thank you very much for giving us your time, and we look forward to seeing more of you on this channel.